Chloe Kitts to jump it up. And the national championship game is underway.
South Carolina is starting out in man-to-man.
Long rebound, ends up with Beckers. Can't hit her jumper. Another rebound, this time it's Fudd, and a held ball is going to give South Carolina. Gino Auriemma said he was expecting much more pressure on their ball handlers in this game than what Connecticut saw in February. Here's Pow. You bet! Here's Strong, the talented freshman, guarded by Kitts. Strong, poised at the cup.
It is truly
for this year's class, the National Freshman of the Year. Here's Kitts trying to work Strong. Kitts to the hook, able to drop it in.
Oh.
Here's Beckers, guarded by Kitts. Beckers trying to dance around her. What a move from Paige Buckets. Paige finish it. Raven Johnson another chance, floats it short. Strong has it knocked away, but a foul called against South Carolina. Giving it right back. Fudd, a deep three is off. Rebound Chen. Chen finds the cutter. Fudd, she got that one.
You see,
not really her forte from out there. Backdoor Johnson gets free. Gives it up. Strong cross court. Chen fakes the three on the drive, banks it in.
That all started when two's out, Caitlin Chen attacked it.
Both teams executing on the offensive end in the early going. Here's Hall, the senior step back is good. The weak side rebound.
This is what South Carolina's bigs can do. They can facilitate the break off of their own defensive boards.
And hit jumpers like that. Dawn Staley said we're going to need to put points on the board against this UConn offense. Strong finishes on the interior. Number one key, keeping Connecticut out of their transition offense. Fudd leaning and hitting, plus the foul. It would be her second. On that replay, it clearly looked like it was Fagan. Chen attacking, bouncing, Elfie laying.
Caitlin Chen
and has fit in beautifully. Kitts couldn't get that one to drop. Edwards, the freshman, timed that jump perfectly. Not good defense there from Hall. Here's Edwards going back to work, and that's going to be foul number 2 on El Alfie. It'll put Joy. It was South Carolina who was the number 1 in the preseason this year, although it is
in this NCAA tournament.
Meanwhile, we saw Mylasia Fulwiley come into the game. Part of why South Carolina is so dangerous. Pass stolen by Edwards. Here's Fulwiley. Has her pocket picked by Fudd. AZ Fudd off to a great start. Here's Strong. Finding Fudd. Back to Beckers off the curl. Beckers unable to hit now. The senior will calm things down.
Raven Johnson is such a good rebounder from the guard position.
Raven Johnson can't quite scoop it in. Off, Brady tips it. Fudd, an extra feed. Strong, loose handle. Flips it up and off. A little out of control on that possession.
You don't.
Kitts putting it on the deck. Off to Edwards. Edwards can't flip it in. Kitts flips it up and off. Strong. Here's Kitts. Off to Pow. Extra feed. Edwards can't finish it. Beckers got a hand on it. 6 rebounds in the quarter for the freshman Strong. 7 seconds left in the frame. Beckers banks it in. 2 seconds left. Pow. Game against Iowa. The game South Carolina went on to win.
A floor spacer who can be very good from 3.
Beckers, another jumper for Paige Beckers. From their normal 3-point average, South Carolina has done both of those things thus far, yes. But it's Connecticut who leads by 7. Strong, able to finish. Edwards. Edwards working behind the screen from Fagan. Edwards, oh my goodness, what a soft touch from Joyce Edwards.
She's listed as 5'9", but she is a terrific rebounder, both ends.
Edwards gets the touch, freshman to freshman. Fagan, what hands! Dawn Staley talks about that all the time. They want their bigs to be able to do everything their guards can do passing the basketball. Beckers, no. Rebound, John. Here's Hall, and it's going to be a moving screen on Joyce Edwards. That'll be her. Mostly dead ball turnovers, though. Here's Beckers. Pull-up jumper. Got fouled. And Paige.
UConn likes to run.
Beckers hits the first free throw. Let's take another look. Yeah. Beckers hits both free throws and hit the three. And again, Raven Johnson, another offensive board. Here's Tessa storming in, gets the foul against Sarah Strong. Has been in years past. No Aaliyah Boston, no Camila Cardoso. Still a part of the repertoire. And here was the foul.
In before that, which is where the foul came.
Meanwhile, we'll see how South Carolina navigates after.
Losses is their inability to make shots from the three-point line. And their 3 losses shot 24% from 3.
Fagan buries the jumper. An 8-2 push from South Carolina. Beckers kicks it out. Fudd can't get it to drop. Sarah Strong, another rebound, her 7th.
But smart by Fagan to go at El Alfie, the player with 3 fouls.
Fudd on the attack gets fouled. And AZ Fudd is going to the... Dawn Staley has an extended one with Gina Cross. As Fudd hits the first free throw. Like we did against UCLA, if we play like that, we're going to win. Said what we need to figure out is if we're not clicking. Here's Beckers twisting, dishing. Fudd, run off, pull up, is good. Strong, deep catch. Gets blocked beautifully by Tessa Johnson. And it'll sketch film and try and implement aspects of his game. Strong, deep catch, and 2 more for Sarah Strong. Strong, 8 points, 8 boards for Wiley again as Fudd steal it away. AZ Fudd to the cup.
Hear her say, "You've got to play today." Later, she sidebarred with her in one of the huddles. She is pushing Malaysia to play the right way. That starts on the defensive end, and they need her scoring.
Gonna go coast to coast. We'll ask for some help. Beckers right back to Strong. Couldn't flip it in. And Raven Johnson the rebound.
Raven Johnson.
Here's Chen. 5 to shoot. Into the arms of Beckers. 2 to shoot. They don't realize it. Brady doesn't get it off. And Connecticut with the shot clock.
She's been trying to initiate because she can be a handful, especially against this smaller UConn lineup.
Johnson connects. Big 3 there. Set up by Wiley. Big one on the way. Off. Dowda battling. Can't get it to go, but a foul. Carolina as Dowda hits the first. A season 2 of full court press premieres Flau'jae Johnson and Kiki Iriafen. Sarah Strong with her 11th rebound. Gives it up. Gets it back. 8 to shoot. Into Strong. Beckers to the corner. Shade. Connects. Rebound Pow. Pushing pace for South Carolina with Connecticut back. Pow as it wrestled out of bounds by Beckers. It'll stay. Scooped up by Beckers. South Carolina with just 1 fast break point in that first half. Fudd can't lay it in, but gets fouled by Bree Hall. For a little more on AZ Fudd, let's send things over to Holly.
Well, AZ Fudd has been building towards this moment for all of her. Across the right, a little skill development. Make sure you're good with both sides. I just love that. Her mom is poured so...
Story, we thought she was talking about like 12-year-old AZ. No, not 2-year-old working on the left hand as Kids able to finish through some contact.
Right. For South Carolina, and they were above 50% on the uncontested ones. There just weren't enough of them.
Here's Pow. Dipping inside, throwing it out of bounds as South. Fudd on the drive, floats it in. AZ Fudd. That one either.
South Carolina's done what they need to do on the defensive end of the floor. It's been their struggle to score that's been the problem.
And Becker's going to pick up a foul there. That'll be the first. Beckers, Strong, El Alfie, Fudd, and Shade for UConn. And that's going to be a foul here against Connecticut. And we'll see who they give it to get the 5 much in this game. Here's Kitts shouldering in. Kitts gets another whistle against El Alfie. And that is...
No, El Alfie doesn't provide a lot in terms of scoring on the offensive end, but she is a big physical presence.
From Egypt, saw maybe her best game of the year in the semifinals in that win against UConn. The SEC 6th Woman of the Year.
Ooh, Edward lost his shoe.
Strong, soft touch for Sarah Strong. 13-point Connecticut lead. Fudd, what a move. AZ Fudd all the way in. Danger time for South Carolina. And a whistle going to go against Ice Brady. And leave. You're always going to think, I didn't get to accomplish everything I could in a Connecticut jersey. She agreed.
A young woman who also loves the school part of it. She graduated in 3 years, taking grad courses since then.
Injury, having to fight her way back to the court. She went 728 days without being able to play in an NCAA tournament game, but not today. She is not going to be.
And South Carolina take advantage with Connecticut over the limit. Fagan bodying in. Nice move from Sanaya Fagan, who's really added to. She's the most important player to have on the floor for her team because of her communication. Strong and easy too.
Two-man game with AZ. To her, you get the easy delivery to Strong on the roll.
Pow, pocket feed. Edwards, strong finish from the freshman.
And same thing on this end that time with
Paige Beckers at the line. Sinks the first.
#1 draft pick. AZ Fudd next year. It's interesting to see where she will go. Most likely a lottery pick. I mean, that's the level of talent we're talking about with those 3.
Can't get it to drop. Gets it back. Another chance for Malaysia. For Wiley, runner is good. Does that unlock Malaysia for Wiley? It can be that kind of disruptive defender as well. For Wiley leads the break, and Fagan lays it in.
Those 2 women.
3:10 to go in the third. Strong fakes the 3, gives it up in the corner. Fudd, you bet!
And you can use your 4-player as the facilitator to get the pass to AZ.
That's going to be the 2nd foul on Strong, and free throws here for Jordan. 3 of the game that UConn has hit as Edwards misses the free throw. South Carolina looking for a 2nd straight title in a 3rd in 4 years, a 4th overall, their first since 2016. Strong's 3 is good. Edwards spinning, gets denied. Kitts working the interior, dives in, couldn't finesse it home. Attacking, laying, couldn't finish it. Beckers the rebound. Underneath, Beckers gets the whistle.
They could cut this to single digits. Instead, the lead has ballooned for Connecticut.
Yeah, South Carolina had scored 3s, and now these free throws from Beckers. Sin fading, a lot of contact, no call. Rebound gathered by Beckers, and then she is fouled.
But Ryan, that is not a recipe for success offensive.
The 29th annual WNBA draft, Monday. Washington Mystics have the 3rd and 4th. Our coverage begins with WNBA countdown at 7 Eastern. 12 to 19. As Johnson hits the free throw, we check in with Holly.
I want to follow up what you're talking about. Salivate. Sarah Strong, 90 steals and 65 blocks this season.
Actually good friends who grew up playing together since middle school. To Joyce, her school team got Joyce's once, but she said, Joyce, pow, off on a 3. Raven Johnson couldn't hold the board, and a foul is going to be called on South Carolina, which so far 14 personals called on Connecticut and 12 on South Carolina.
And it's right in front of the official. They tend to let a little bit more physicality go, like in the post, than they do.
Left in the quarter. Pow, spinning, taking, can't finish. Rebound Griffin, and that'll do it for the 3rd. UConn title. South Carolina a fourth and a repeat. KK Arnold being ridden the whole way, able to finish. Plus the some time here for South Carolina as Arnold completes the three-point play, large in this tournament this year. McDaniel gets fouled and will shoot two as the foul is called on.
This for them. You heard Dawn Staley talk about in the interview with Holly.
Yeah, she talked about in the interview with Holly before the game as well, knowing that they have not been in many close games this season. In fact, they've only played 3 games all year to do for the Gamecocks to create a moment like that. Arnold stops, takes, gets fouled again by McDaniel. And free throws here for KK Arnold. Not in that regular season matchup against South Carolina because Sarah Strong was in foul trouble. Second free throw good. Maddie McDaniel and Chloe Kitts for South Carolina. Here's Beckers. Her jumper is good with a hand of his seat to celebrate. Strong, oh, what a finish! Reversing it home. In the final quarter of this season, Beckers backdoor, pops it in, plus the foul. In NCAA tournament history in her career, and now ahead of her. In love with what they have seen so far today. For Wiley. Dashing through, beautiful finish, and they've gotten it done inside the arc on offense. Arnold on the attack. Arnold lays it in. For Wiley, wow, my goodness. What a move from Malaysia. Using all the shot clock here. Beckers gives it up. Strong. You bet. Arnold dashing in. 2 more. Fagan gets held up, out of bounds. 4:01 to go in the fourth. UConn they have on a team she knows they're going to go into a camp. And that coaching staff is going to say, I like their work and I like what they can bring. And that's the way Dawn Staley prepared for South Carolina. This has been a brilliant performance from UConn. But you can't say enough about the program that have won 3 championships over the last 9 years. They have won 2 of the last 4. Businesslike. And he said that gave me a good feeling for what was to come. And Paige Beckers said it wasn't celebratory, it was motivating. It was the first example of what I can talk to Gino about anything. I go into his office, we chat about golf or how to handle pressure, how to navigate social media, managing money. Said, yeah. For Wiley, buries the 3. And there's the buzzer. It's an even dozen for Gino Auriemma and Connecticut. The final page in the book of